A very good morning to you. So I just spilled the coffee. You know me, I'm so klutzy. How's everybody doing? It's Thursday morning. Honestly, I woke up this morning and I thought it's Friday. I was so excited that tomorrow is Saturday and we can have a lay-in and yeah, and soon, like 10 minutes later, I realized, not even 10 minutes, 2 minutes later, I realized that it's Thursday. Oh, this shows me I don't know what day of the week is. How's everybody? I can see the weather is, well, it's quite good here. It's nice and sunny. I haven't been outside yet, so I don't know if it's warmish. It was quite warm yesterday. But everybody's saying, well, Jen was saying the weather was a bit wet in Western-super-Mare, but quite a few of you, as I saying, you got a bright and sunny day. Like Camille was saying, you got a bright and sunny day. Lucy's saying the weather tells me it's beating day today, so I guess that it's raining where you are, lovely. Rachel is saying sunshine here but cold. And was it sunshine in Dorset? So no, the sun is trying to shine in Dorset, so hopefully it comes out. Carolyn saying beautiful sunny dry day in Devon today, so no beating. Yeah, go for a lovely walk, because like when it comes to the autumn like this, we like seldom have a nice and sunny day, and we can always beat in the evening. That's what I did last night, because I was dying to have a go at these beads, and I'll explain it to you just in a sec. That I was working out something for years before, and I came across these beads, and I was doing I'll show you just in a minute. I'll show you. Sue's gonna be should be doing some gardening, but is going to a beading day again. Yes, I don't blame you. I need to do some gardening at the weekend, but let's see if we get out there. Joey's saying she's got a client at 10 a.m, so she's gonna watch later. And have you you made a coffee, Betty? Saying yes, I made a coffee, and I spilled the coffee as well on the top of my white mat, but I just chuck it in the machine. I'll actually Simon got me another 2 meters of this, so I'm gonna be cutting it up, and the 2 meters is gonna make me like 3 sort of covers for my table, so I can have like one in the wash and a couple to be used. Right, so today we're gonna be Creation Station is back, and Creation Station, like all of you, like, I love Creation Station, because when we start it, Rachel is saying it's sunshine but cold in South Yorkshire. Much brighter today in Devon. I love this. I love this weather report, and I was talking to Sarah yesterday because I had an idea that when I get back into my office and we set it all up, and I got some new furniture and everything else, that I said to Sarah that I should get a webcam, just sort of looking out the window, just to have a weather cam. How cool that would be. It's sunny in Wiltshire, sunny in Cavan Island, so it looks like there is sunny, quite a bit windy but cloudy here in Forfar. I hope I said that right, Angela. It looks like we grey here in Aberdeenshire. Hopefully we won't get any more rain, I think. Yeah, but anyway, it doesn't matter if it's rain or sunshine, because if it's raining we can have a lovely beading day inside. If it's sunshine, then we can, if you got a conservatory or sit by the window, and you can still do your beading. So there's no excuse for beading. Not in my house. Right, so I was eager to have a go at this, and I'm just going to turn you down and show you, because I was working at this necklace, and I'm going to show you from very far away, because obviously we're not releasing this project until the 4th of November, so shouldn't really be seeing it. But this is it's got sort of a base row, and I'm using super duos to go all the way around it. And as I was doing the base row, and I used these new crystal beads, very quick sneak peek, there we go. As I was doing the base row, how you started the necklace off, what I was using modified right angle weave, so back with modified right angle weave, but as I was doing the base row, it looked fantastic, and I was supposed to have a go with you like today, like how's it all gonna look. But last night I came home and like I got up at 5 o'clock yesterday because he had the show on Create and Craft. But we sat down and watched a movie with the kids, and I was like, wait, pause the movie. Like, I'm gonna go and get my tray, and I ran in and got my tray, and I sat down and do a couple of little swatches. Of the beading, because I think it just looks really, really great. But without further ado, let me turn you down and show you how it's all looking. And I'm going to give you a little bit more light. There we go. And then we are good to go. Right, so these crystals are a new size for us. They are, usually we either use 2x3 or 3x4mm rondelles. Now these rondelles are the in-between sizes, and many of you, if you follow me, you've seen on Sunday I had like a big bundle of them and I was playing around with them. So what I did, I went in and I put together color coordinated packs. This is the teal, so this is what we're gonna play with because I haven't made a little swatch with them yet. But we got a black diamond, a navy, and a purple on the website. And I added 20 grams of size 11 and 20 grams of size 8 seed beads, because that is the that's quite a nice amount. You got 2 strands of the crystals in there from each one of the colors. I've got the rest of them here. It's enough to do quite a lot of things. So let me just bring this up and show you. I just love it. The pattern you can create, there is so many different patterns with it, but I just feel that it's so satisfying, and it's really nice and flat, and we're only working with a couple of size of seed beads here and some crystals, and we're creating some really, really nice pattern. Now I finished the bracelet with just a single strand. I actually made it a little bit too small for me because I like my bracelets sort of quite loose on my wrist, I guess. And so I'm gonna make another one of this because I think this one will go really well. So if I'm wearing anything blue or anything grey, I think it would go it still fits me, but it's just like I like my bracelets loose like that, so I'm gonna make another one. But I just really love the pattern. I just love how the crystals sit together with the seed beads, that sometimes sizes just work, that when you put together, and these crystals, these new size crystals, just work with the size 8 and size 11 seed beads. And then we can do other sort of patterns with them as well. We could we will look at spiral staircases or Russian spiral or bits of pieces for the next couple of creation stations, because I just really love them, but they're really, really sparkly. So I started off just doing one strand, then I did added the 3 colors on top of each other, and I think that looks really nice as well. Then I thought, oh, let's have fun with this, and I started to do sort of stripes going across it, but you can really do what you like to do, or what you would, you can really have your creative influx in there. And we're going to play with the turquoise one today because last night at 10 o'clock Simon said, no, we're going upstairs, we're going to bed, you're not staying downstairs, you're not beating not beating until midnight. So yeah, I had to go to bed at 10 o'clock. I am a mink like that I call them the one more row night, when I just sort of stay up and bead and bead and bead, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, bead and bead and bead, and before I know it, it's like midnight. Right, so let's get started. Actually, let me quickly show you the website, what we have on the website, because Simon, when I went to the office, he was like, this is what I want, and can you give us an offer on it? And he did, bless him. So let me just show you. So if you go on the website, again, Facebook tutorials right here on the top right corner, or you can go into the categories and go in through from there. Then it's the creation station is the one today. Now you can go back, like Sarah was doing the lovely brooches yesterday. I think the brooches as well, do check it out if you haven't seen it yesterday, because Simon has put an offer on the brooches, but it's only lasts for a couple of days. memory wire necklace, regal rings, beauty stitch rings. So we did loads and loads and loads all the way back to March 23rd when we started. So let's pop into today. So I matched the crystals up with the seed. We got the right color of size 8 and the right color of size 11. In the neutral colors, which is the black diamond colors, I added the size 11 and size 8 exactly the same color, and all the other ones I made sure they are a slightly different color. So if you're just starting out, start with you know, the purple, the navy, or the teal, because you're going to see it better where you're going. And once you get familiar with the stitch, then go for this one, because that makes a really nice colorway as well. Now Simon has given us 35% off the price. So what you actually get is you get 6 strands of the crystals. They normally $2.50 each, and you get 20 grams, not 10 grams. We usually sell the bags in 20 grams, but you get 20 grams of the seed beads each, so 40 grams altogether. 20 grams of the size 8 and 20 grams of the size 11. Right, let's put you back on the mat. Actually, I'm gonna pop myself here in the corner for you. So let's get started. Lucy's saying, I'm trying to watch with my eye closed. I want them all. Oh, bless. I have just used the small crystal cubes in a snake stitch. They are lovely. They are not the same crystals. These are a smaller size than that. Paul is saying, I'm waiting on a birthday order to arrive. Can't wait to play with all those beads. Question, will work with 4mm rondelles, as I got a bundle last week? Not really, because the 4mm rondelle is going to be bigger. So this is the thing with bead stitching and bead. You can try it, and if you do try it, put a picture up in one of the handmade groups, or in the handmade groups, because but it's like if you choose a larger crystal, so as you can see here, the crystals do sit next to each other quite nicely, and there is a tiny little gap between them. But if you use a larger crystal, what's going to happen, that gap's going to disappear, and the crystals are going to pucker as you go, as they go through the row. So if I show it from your sideways, they are sit really nice and straight. They just sort of, they just the right size. But do try it with the larger one, or do try it with a smaller one as well. You can have a look. Right, let's get going. So I'm just gonna grab my needle. Actually, I'm gonna grab a new needle so I can have a nice and straight one. This is 10 or 12. It must be 10. So what we're trying to do with Creation Station, that we are just playing with beads. We can, you sort of in control as well, because I got so much here. Just pop that to the corner. And just get some of these beads out. So you can tell me if you want me to try something different. I got quite a lot of beads here in my craft room. Just a few beads. Lourdes is saying, love the single version, very elegant. Well, you can do a 1 row, you can do a 2 row, or you can do a 3, you can do a 5 row version if you like. It's really, it's up to you. We're going to start off with 1 row, and then you're going to come back on yourself and add the 2nd and 3rd or 4th row, whichever way you like. You can do single color, or you can do multicolor version. This is why something like this is great, because you can have your own unique pattern on there. I love blending colors together, so I always have a few. I'd rather have like 3 sort of different shades of a color to play with than just one, because I think it makes, actually let's pull this down a little bit, it makes a nicer bracelet. Just getting the middle color. So in this one, in the teal one, you have a teal rainbow, which is this one. Sorry, let me just move you a tiny, let me just move this a tiny bit. So you get the teal rainbow, which is this color here. Then you have a sort of a milky color. Now the milky color, this one is not completely opaque till it has a very little translucence to it, but you can't really see through it. It's more opaque than see-through. And then you have this really nice darker teal opaque beads as well. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with one color, so let's start with the darker color. So I'm gonna pick up one size 8 seed bead. I'm gonna pick up a crystal. I'm gonna pick up another size 8 seed bead and another crystal, and I'm gonna take them all the way down. Oh, Jean is saying my storage box is overflowing. Yours and mine are both. I got so much here as well. I got the first 10 years of retirement sorted, definitely. Just move a little bit to the left. So I'll just suspend it in my fingers, on my fingers, so my work is not going to jump about. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to come through from the tail end towards my working end and pull this together to form a nice little loop. Now I'm going to go through the next bead to work away from my tail. And just caught my finger on there. Pull this through, it'll be fine. To make a nice, now you could go, you could have knotted it before we went through that bead, but if you knot it and that knot seeps into the hole of the crystal or the hole on the seed bead, it can block it from you adding anything to it. So what I rather do is to go around one more time to have a really nice and strong base, so my thread is not gonna travel back up at all. And you know, like when you're doing something and as you're getting tighter and tighter on one end, on your tail end, it's getting looser and looser. So that's what we're gonna remedy by going around one more time. So from here, this is my side. This is what you're gonna do all the way along. So you're gonna pick up one size 11 seed bead, one size 8 seed bead. You're gonna pick up a crystal and another size 8 seed beads, and as you're exiting on the side here, we're gonna come from the middle and just come through that crystal towards your thread where you were exiting, and you pull it together. So now we have two little figures of 8 here. Now I'm gonna ignore this size 11 seed bead and just go up through the size 8 and pull it tight, just like that. And then I'm gonna pick up another seed bead, size 11, a size 8, a crystal, and another size 8, and I'm just gonna repeat what I did. Just like that. I'm coming through at the top. Kimberly's asking, is there a PDF with this? This with the kits. They are not kits, they are just a seed bead and crystal bundles, because I love new things and they are brand new size to us, so I'm going to be playing with them quite a bit. I want to try them on with a spiral stitch because I think that will look great as well, or perhaps try the netting. We did the netting with the miracle beads, so but I think we could, because we got size 8s and size 11s here, we're gonna try netting with as well next week, or there is loads of other stitches what we can actually try with them. So I just put together the crystals and the seed beads, color matching them, so you got a little bundle there for you to work with. There isn't an instructions for write this. There is instructions for, we had the lily bracelet we did before, modified right angle weave, how to do the stitch it first, but it's really easy. With the, if you just rewatch the video, you will be able to follow it because it's really nice and easy. Right angle weave might looks a little bit scary, but it is the stitch where I come back to it over and over again and use it for so many different bracelets and necklaces. Right, so I'm picking up one size 11, one size 8, a crystal, another size 8. I'm exiting on the side, and then I'm going to come back from the top and just go through that crystal. Janet is saying, good morning, I'm embarrassed to say my dining room is full of jewelry making goods and card making, which has been second place since lockdown. My real friends understand that. Yes, I understand as well, Janet. Don't worry, we all exactly the same, I think. Oh, I didn't step up through the side. And we all exactly the same. I got so much, and I'm redoing well my craft room, a stroke office, stroke study, stroke, but it's my craft room really because I claimed that room in the house. The ceiling has to get fixed, so we had to empty everything out, and I had to take everything out of the room, and I'm in the dining room at the moment. And hopefully by the end of November it will be all done and I can move back in. But I got sewing stuff, I got felting stuff, I got card making stuff, I got so much as well for all sorts of other crafts. And then what I love most, like was it last week or the week before, when we were doing crocheting with when you're merging two crafts together, we were crocheting with crystals. Right, so I'm just coming through. Yes, it was last week. My bathing area is our summer house. Oh bless! I love to have a sort of little wooden log cabin type of, you know, summer house sort of thing in the garden, because then I could just sort of exit the house. I could go and hide myself away in there, and then I wouldn't have children coming at all. Or can you please make me a drink? And I'm saying, well, you're 10 years old, you know where the cups are, you know how to make a squash, but they just want you to make it for them. So I'm just carrying on. As you can see, I got a couple of inches here already. I just really love how it's all turning out. Because of the size of the crystals, they just sit so nice. They just, when I was doing that necklace, and I'm very quickly going to show you on this camera as well. I know I'm not supposed to. When I was doing the necklace and I was doing this top row before I added this gem jewels on there, I was like, oh my word, this looks really, really nice. I just really loved how the crystals were sitting. And then I said to Simon, he was coming, oh, can you bring me home more colors of this crystal, please? Because I really want to have a go at it and really want to play with them. But they do look really nice. I actually am liking this teal as well. I'm going to turn back around in a minute, and I'll show you how to add the second row, because that's going to be going for second and third row, or how many rows you can add, because they're quite nice and petite. You can even have 5 rows if you like. Oh, Beth is saying it was like a mini creation station. Jeannie's saying, same as me, Kitty. I also do painting when I have the time. Oh yes, time is the one that I struggle with at the moment, to do all these things. And I did talk about on mine, when I was emptying out my craft room, and I actually boxed some of my, I time capsuled some of my craft stuff. So some of the felting stuff and bits of pieces, because I know we're not going to have time for it right now. So I boxed it all up, and I'm going to go back and have a look at it in a year's time, hopefully when we have a bit more time on our hand and finished doing stuffs in the house and get things out. But my beading is, I guess, is my main passion. I would never pack my beads away. I couldn't. There's just so many different sizes, structures, shapes to play with. It's just so exciting. Right, I'm going to add a few more, and then I'm going to turn back and show you how to add the next row, because I also want to show you how to add a clasp on it, how easy it is. Just add a few more so we got a little bit of a length. Susan is saying, you know what they say, buying craft supplies are actually crafting with them are two completely different hobbies. Oh yes, very true, lovely. But we all buy these craft supplies because with the good intentions that we want to have a go at it, and we want to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things, because there is so many different, I've got quite a bit of PowerTech stuff, which is like, it's like a colored sort of glue, a hardener, which is, you can use it with loads of different, like you can do them like a mix media pictures with it, and this is the thing, I need a week when I just get it out and I'm not doing anything else but that, just playing with sort of a craft. Or maybe that a week is a bit over asking. Maybe I just need a long weekend. Say this weekend it's my weekend, and I'm doing what I'm doing this, and that's it. Right, so I'm going to turn back around to show you how to add the second row on it. So as you can see, because we were coming on this side, we added the size 11 seed beads on this side, but on the other side we haven't got the size 11 seed beads at all. Now if I just wanted to make a single row like I did here, I would just turn back and I would come back and fill the size 11 seed beads all the way along, coming up, so both of my sides is exactly the same, like in this one. Now, bead sizing, do bear in mind that once you pull the sides, so you're going to pull this side and add all the seed beads in, your bracelet is probably going to be about 4 or 5% smaller than what it is. So if you're aiming for a, I don't know, 20 centimeter bracelet, then actually the weave what you have with that pulling before you're pulling it together is going to have to be 21 centimeters, because it slightly is going to contract down on itself, and it does it naturally. But just bear in mind that if I measure it around my wrist like this, I always need a little bit of extra on the other side because it's going to be pulled together. But we're not going to be adding the end just yet. We're going to add another row, and I'm going to go down and add these lighter color crystals. So we're going to come around the corner through that crystal and into that size 8 seed bead. Sue's saying, I love PowerTech. It's messy, but the end result is always worth it. Oh, I love PowerTechs as well. Right, I'm going to pick up a crystal. I'm going to pick up, let's just move some of these size 8s here so it's closer. I'm going to pick up a size 8 and another crystal, and I'm going to come through this size 8 seed beads I'm just exiting out of, and pull this up nice and tight. Come on. Now, as you can see, I need to jump along to the next size 8 seed bead, but before I do that, I'm going to pick up one size 11 and then go through the second size 8 seed bead. So I'm filling that gap with the 11s, and that's sort of mirroring the other side. Now I'm going to pick up a crystal and a size 8, because I already have one of the crystals here, which I'm going to come from the outer edge towards the middle of the bracelet, going to come through there. I'm going to ignore the size 11 and go through that size 8, which I'm just coming out of, and pull this up nice and tight. And I'm going to pick up a size 11 and I'm going to go through the third size 8 and pull it up. So you can see, just filling those gaps in. Again, another crystal and a size 8, and I'm going to come through this crystal, which is already here, and the size 8 I'm coming out from. I like to do this all in the same sort of same motion, so I don't have to pull my thread and needle over and over again and exercising my arm, I guess. You know, when I do a lot of beading or continuously do beading for like a couple of weeks every single day, like doing something like this, something like stitching, and you are extending your arm over and over and over again with the stitching, I do sometimes get my achy arms from my beading. So definitely don't need to go to the, well, not like I do go to the gym, but definitely don't need to go to the gym for arm exercises. Well, on the right hand side. So I'm doing the same thing over and over again, running all the way back down the length of my bracelet, adding the size 11 seed bead, then adding the crystal and the size 8. Susan is saying you always seems to need something else when you actually want to make something. Very true as well. Because like you sort of get, I think it's like you do something and then you see something else, and wouldn't it be nice to have a go at that, and then, but that's the beauty of things, that you go from one medium to another and you can even combine them together. And I always say, and that's the motto at Totally Beads, that the best thing in life are handmade. And if you look at it, like even if you go back in time, the handmade items were always, like, since we introduced sort of machine stuff, but the handmade items were always more, if you were like, even if like 200 years ago, if you were a tailor, or if you were like, you know, a seamstress, or if you were in any jeweler, any sort of industry, if you were good at it, people really paid good money for it, especially like people who make suits. And so I think the handmade stuffs are always a bit more special. And now I think, like, you know, when I do Christmas presents or birthday presents for my cousins, or my family and friends as well. And I got one particular friend, I keep making earrings for her, and she said to me, it was her birthday in the summer, and she said to me not long afterwards, do I need to wear it until Christmas for you to make me another earring? But it's not just the cost of the materials, but you invest in it, but it's your time and love as well, which makes it really special. So I'm just almost all the way to the top. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And then we can decide that if we're gonna add a 2-loop clasp, or we're gonna put another row onto it and add a 3-loop clasp to it. The method is gonna be exactly the same with the 2-loop and the 3-loop. You're just connecting them in different places. With handmade, each piece is unique and made it with love for someone else. Betty, that's exactly right. You know, like my grandmother, they used to have a farm. She was saying I do a lot of embroidery and incorporate beads in some pieces. Yes, they look so lovely. My grandmother, they used to have a farm, and they used to spend in the summertime, because in the summer in Hungary, it's not 6 weeks school holiday. We have 12-week school holiday in Hungary. So the kids break up from school in the 2nd week of June, and they don't go back until September. So because my mom was a nursery school teacher, and nursery didn't shut down like school, so nursery only had really a 4-week summer break, or three weeks, maybe 3 weeks summer break. But even when they had the 3-week summer break, the nursery school teachers and the staff had to go in, because that's when they did all the housekeeping stuff of like, you know, they used to have a really big clean everything, get everything clean. They used to do all their paperwork to get in order and get ready for the next year. So I actually had to spend every summer when I was little with my grandmother and grandfather, and they had a little farm, so they had loads of animals, but they used to make their own duvets. My grandmother used to make her own rugs. She used to make, like, they pretty much, apart from like making material itself, and I'm sure they parents or their grandparents did that as well, they used to make a lot of things around the house, and they were so crafty, and I think that was the way of life. And this day and what we live now is so much easier just to buy something. And you know, I'm talking about like a knitted jumper. It's cheaper to buy it than actually make it in some places, but it's not as special than when you actually spend the time with it and make it. And it's so therapeutic as well that when you make something that, well, for me, definitely. So right, we got all the way down to the bottom. What shall we do? Shall I turn back and add the third color, or shall we go ahead and add the clasp? Do let me know. Sue's saying, I have used size 11 seed beads in place of cross stitches on 14 count Ada to make quick cards. Yes, you could do that as well. I did a couple of little pictures. Well, actually we got it framed, my little chickens, and they in the kitchen, and that was sort of a cross between adding seed beads and adding thread on there as well. And I love doing, she is saying, I do love embroidery and incorporated beads. Third color. So we got one for clasp, one for third color. Never tried that. Sue sounds interesting. We'll have to have a go. Yes, so you can add beads onto your embroideries, and you can either pretty much add beads in to continue the other side. So we got 2 third color clasp, third color, third color. Right, so I think we're gonna add a third color quickly. So you're gonna do exactly the same thing. As you're at the end, you're gonna come around. So I'm just gonna go around that crystal and that size 8, just turning around. So I'm facing down on my breast again, and I'm gonna do exactly the same what I did for the second row. So just move this color out. I'm gonna move this lightest color in here, and we're gonna pick up one crystal, one size 8, another crystal, and then we're gonna come back through the size 8 from the opposite end, which we are coming out of, and we're picking up a size 11 and going through the second size 8. So we're going to repeat the same step. As you can add as many rows as you like, but it's going to be exactly the same. And I'm just picking up a crystal and one size 8, as I already have one crystal here. I'm going to go through this crystal and the size 8 I'm coming out from, and pull this up nice and tight. Then I'm picking up a size 11 and going through the third size 8 on the previous row. Just make sure my thread doesn't get, and so on. And I think that just looks really nice. It's something like when you get the right size of beads, and it's like, I can't sort of stress enough, because we all do so many sort of different designs and do different things, but when you get the absolutely right size of beads together, they just sort of fit, and they just look like, you know, they're meant to be with each other, I guess. Or I don't really, you know, if the bead was a little bit bigger, so if you use the 3x4mm rondos, it would pucker. If you use the smaller one, then you would have bigger gaps. So sometimes it's so nice to find something which is just fits exactly, and that's why I guess there are so many different thousands of different styles, different shapes, different sizes of beads. But I'm so happy with this new size of crystal, and this crystal is not added to the website separately yet, because you got so many colors to add, and the girls are quite busy. Leanne and Molly's so busy doing stuff for the USB 4 that I'm not sure when they're gonna add them separately. Oh, I just missed it up. I picked up a size 11 as well. See, sometimes when I'm talking, I didn't pay attention what I was doing. So Molly and Leanne are so busy doing stuff for the USB 4 that I'm not sure when they're gonna add these crystal beads separately on the website, so you can buy them separately color by color. But so they're only available on these bundles, and Simon has given us a third off, 35% off until the end of the weekend. So do grab one, because I am planning to use it next week as well, because I want to really try add a spiral stitch with it, which might be, don't know, I might do, we could do, what is your favorite spiral stitch? Do let me know, and then I have a little go and we could do that next week. What is your go-to spiral stitch? This stitch grows quickly, yes. So this is modified right angle weave. So if you were doing just normal right angle weave, we would be snaking up. So we'd be going like that in a motion of 8 up all the way around, and then you have to come back down and fill on one side, and then you go up on the other side and fill the beads on the other side, which is works in some cases. But with modified right angle weave, you're filling the side and you're adding the beads at the same time. Russian spiral or crochet spiral? Lourdes is saying, so we could do, yeah, we could try Russian spiral with them. I think that would work. And we got lovely size 8s and size 11s. We could do spiral staircase. We could do, we could do, I was going to say, my mind gone blank. Let's take a sip of my coffee. We could try a Cellini spiral with it, because we got 2 sizes of seed beads and the crystals. That would look great. We could try Chanel stitch with it. We could try netting. We could try tubular netting. I think that would look really great, because for tubular netting you need 2 sizes of seed beads and a size of crystal or pearl or whatever size of bead what you're going to be using as the size 11 as your feature bead in there. So we could do that. Spiral staircase would be nice. Mine is spiral rope, possibly because I haven't mastered Russian spiral yet, but I intended to do it. Russian spiral is really, really easy. Once you get your sort of head around it, it's very easy stitch to do. Tubular netting would be fab, or what we could do, we could just sit down and we could just try out all of them. Right, I'm almost on the other end, and I'm going to show you how to add the clasp on one end. Now don't forget, even if you make this and you go up and down, so once we come all the way up here, we're going to run up and down to strengthen our bracelet. And if you find that it's a little bit too small, don't you worry, because you can always add more to the end before you add the clasp on the other side. That's why I love this stitch, because it's so versatile. Right angle weave is so versatile that you can do so much with it. And it's one look. Like sometimes when you have to modify some of your other stitches, and it looks like, oh well, we just added something onto the end because we needed a little bit of length, or we needed a gap, or we needed it, you know, taper in, or with some of the stitches you can actually see that was something added onto the end. But with this one, if you add another centimeter or another half an inch or whatever you need to add to the end, it will look like the part of the bracelet. So I'm almost all the way to the top. Triple netting would be great too. I like Russian spiral, but I have done it to death. Something else would suit me. I really like the look of netting. Right, so I'll we have a look. We can play. We can even try 2 of them. Don't forget, this creation station will be moving to YouTube from November, and it's gonna move to Monday night because we have a little bit of sort of from November there is so many different things happening, and we're launching so many different things. We're launching the Beat Club, 12 Days of Christmas. There is so many things happening, and Creation Station is going to move to Monday night. So we're trying to do, we're still going to keep up, so almost demand what we do now, but we're going to have to condense the days down so me and Sarah both can have a day off in the week. So this Creation Station is going to move to Monday night. Right, and I just got 3 more beads to add. 3, 4, no, 3 to get to the end. And then I'm gonna show you the clasp, and I'm gonna show you what's the best way to add the clasp. Also, I always like to talk it through the, like any bracelet or anything you make, how you think about adding clasp and what's the sort of best way to add them. I'm just adding the last crystal, just the last one, and that's it. So we got a really nice little strip here with 3 different colors, the darker one on one edge and going to the lighter one on the other edge. But once you get familiar with the stitch, you can always go back, like I did it on the purple, that you stagger your colors, or I staggered them on this black diamond color even more. Like this was, there is 2 next to each other. Here you just got 1. So you can do a lot of different things. Dutch spiral for different long. Oh yes, Linda, we could try that one as well. So do try like different patterns with it as well. So let me just put that. So before I'm going to add my clasp, I'm going to run all the way down and add the missing size 11 seed beads between my size 8s on the side, so my bracelet will look nice and even. So I'm just weaving my thread around as I'm coming out of that size 8. If you wanted, you could add another row, but I'm gonna stop here. You could add this color again and then the darkest one on the other side. How cool that would look with 5 rows, just really blending your colors. But I'm going to finish with the 3 rows, so I'm going to pick up a size 11 and go through the next size 8, and again pick up a size 11, go through the next size 8, and I'm just going to run all the way down, adding these size 11s in here, so we have a nice and neat edge on both sides. Linda 10, and don't think I have ever seen a Dutch spiral. No, that's African. There is another spiral called African Helix, which is I got one of that necklaces in my box what I found a few weeks ago, but I think I got a couple of Dutch spiral ones at work. I'll have a look, and if I find them, I'll pop a picture up. All these spiral stitches are like Russian spiral, Dutch spiral, African helix. They're all very similar, but they got sort of distinctive differences. Right, so I'm almost all the way down to the end. Now I'm going to add a 3 loop clasp on this to have a nice sort of connect the ends. But as you can see, because the size 11 and the size 8 seed beads is a different color, When you start to learn this stitch, you can really easily identify which one you need to go through, which one is next, which one you need to pick up. When you get more experience, you can use the same color, size 8 and size 11, to give you a more of a sort of flawless look. Just going through the last one. Right, so I added all the seed beads down on this side as well. I think that looks really great. So we're going to add the clasp on the end, and then I'm going to come back down, and later on I'm going to add more rows here, so it will be a full bracelet. Lourdes is saying, Sue Shields, not all heroes wear capes, some wear nice jewelry. I love to, like, sometimes Christopher watches his things on like, you know, on TV or Netflix or whatever, all his series, what he watches. You have some of these superheroes, and they have the most amazing big amulets, looking sort of jewelry they wear, and they have like big cuffs on their hands. And with Christopher, we always been looking, oh well, how like, you know, we could perhaps one day, when he's a little bit bigger, because I think he's a bit too small for it. His attention span is about half an hour at the moment. So when he's a bit bigger, we could have a go and make some of these props and what they actually make in these superheroes. Right, so I'm going to use a 3-loop clasp. Now, you know that I have all sorts of different colors, but I think it's going to have to be either a silver or a rhodium. Have I got a rhodium? Yes, I got one. A rhodium color. So that's the rhodium color. That's quite nice with it. Black. Or the black. Because it depends what you want to do. Sometimes you want the clasp to disappear into your beading, and sometimes you want to make the clasp as a feature piece in your beading. Let's just have a look at the silver as well. So what shall we add? Silver. Silver, quite nice and stand out. Or we have a rhodium color, which is like an antique silver color, or we have the black. Which one do you want to black plate, like a gunmetal plate? Which one shall we black? Kimberly's saying. Black, 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 black. I think you're all agreeing on the black one, so let's have the black one. Carol's saying beautiful, love the pattern and the color. Oh, I love it too as well. I got so excited that when I was making that necklace, that I was like, I definitely need to do something with it, because these beads just fit together so nicely. So whatever color actually you choose, the first thing when I design a bracelet or when I design a necklace or anything like that, and I want to attach the clasp, I will put the clasp right next to it. And I see, as you can see, those loops are gonna meet up with the crystals what we have in a row, and I'm just gonna get out a 2-loop one as well. So if you haven't got, for example, you're making this and you haven't got a 3-loop clasp at home, but you have a 2-loop one, you could get away using a 2-loop one as well, because it's just a little bit thinner, a little bit smaller than your bracelet, but it will be fine. But can you see where the loops are meeting with my bracelet? So in this case, I would connect the loops to the 2 size 8s in my row. So I would connect it to that size 8 and that size 8. I personally think the 3-loop one will look more neater and will be nicer, but it is really up to you. It depends what you have in your stash. In my case, it depends what I have to hand to use. So there is the 2-loop one. I would connect that to, or even you could sort of work it down to a point and have one big clasp. But there's so many different ways you can attach a clasp. So just stop for a second, see which clasp you want to attach, and just put it next to your bracelet, and then see where those loops would be best meeting with what seed bead or what set of crystals, or where it would be meeting best with your bracelet. I'm going to use the 3-loop one. So I'm going to take and as I'm right here, I'm just going to bring this up, they're going to meet with my crystals. So what I really need to do is come out either side of my crystal and attach it to the loop. So I reckon a couple of size 11 seed beads will fill that gap in there. So we could just loop it around there. You could make sort of little loops coming around the loops on the glass, loopy loops, we're going loopy here, but you can also do this. So as I'm coming out on the end, I'm just going to wrap this around my fingers so it's not going to start jumping. I'm going to pick up a couple of seed beads and I'm going to go through the first loop on my clasp, just like that, and I'm going to pull this up. So that loop is going to connect just right at the end. Now before I do anything else, I'm going to come back through both of these seed beads. I'm not going through the loop again because that would actually drop the clasp. I'm going to just come back to the 2 seed beads and I'm going to come through this crystal as well. Just like that, I'm going to pull it tight. Now, because I want this loop on the clasp to sit right on top of my crystals to have a nice and even join there, as I'm coming at the crystal on this side, I'm going to pick up a couple of seed beads and I'm going to go back through the same loop but on the inner side of the loop, or inner side of my bracelet, and pull this up nice and tight. So now you can see we got 2 loops on the top of the crystal going into the clasp. Now I'm going to come back through these 2 crystals. I'm going to pick up another 2 and this time I'm going to go through the middle loop. So this is what I'm going to be doing all the way down. Now I'm going to come back through these 2 just added. Both of those and into the second crystal. Just like that. So coming through both of those and into the second crystal. And pull this up nice and tight. And when I'm pulling it nice and tight, you can see that pulled the loop towards the second crystal now. Now I'm again picking up 2 seed beads, going through the second loop again, pull this up nice and tight, coming through both of those seed beads what I just added, pull this up nice and tight again, picking up another 2 and going into the last loop on my clasp. I'm going to actually let the end go now because I got something to hold on to here. Coming through the last loop, pulling this up, then going back through those 2 seed beads and the last crystal, and finally I'm picking up my last 2 size 11 seed beads, going through a third loop again on the outer edge, and then going back down through those 2 seed beads just added, just like that. So we got a really nice and neat finish. Now what I actually would do, because I don't like to see the ends, the loops sort of on the end of my bracelet, so I will come in and add an extra bead on the top to cover those loops. So where I am, I'm going to weave my thread around. I'm going to turn my thread around. So I'm going to go into the crystal. Any thread path you can follow what you have created here. Just get rid of that tail. It's just sort of sitting in the way. Oh no, I stitched through the tail. That's it. So I'm just going to come around. I'm just going into between the first and the middle row, aside the middle row, and coming around with the crystal and up on the side into the 2 seed beads. And now I'm just going to pick up, what shall we put on the end? Shall we put a size 8 or shall we put a size 11? I think a size 8 would look quite nice on there. So I just picked up one size 8 as I went up through the side ones. I'm going to come back down through the next 2 and just zigzag my way. 1, 2, all the way. Coming up through the next one, picking up another size 8, coming down and going back out for the last loop. That's it, and adding our last size 8, and we could have added a crystal or another size 11. It's really up to you, your design. And coming down through the last 2 here. So now I'm going to look at my ends, and actually I don't like the gap here, what I have here between my crystals. So I'm quite simply just going to go through and I'm going to add another bead. I'm just going to add a size 11 in between those crystals to keep the gaps. So I don't see any gaps. Just like that. So we got the, when you're going to be wearing your bracelet, you won't really see the loops. You will see the just a little seed bead on the top of it. I think that's really nice and neat. So the clasp, you can buy them separately as well if you're buying any of the bundles, and I just quickly show you on the website again. You can add it in as an option. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to come into one of the, so I was using the teal, so let's go into the teal itself. And so when you're adding it to your basket, you can add an 8mm round magnetic clasp, which is what I used in this one. You get you can add that one, or you can add the 2 loop one, which is that sort of size, or you can add the 3 loop one, which is the one we just added onto the bracelet. Really it's up to you, add it to your bundle. Or you might already have some of the clasps at home. Really it's up to you what you want. I like to sort of tailor these bundles to tailor make it for you, so you really get you just get what you need, because like as you said, and me as well, we have got so many beads and findings and everything at home, so we just really want to make it flexible for you. So if you do need the clasp, you can add it to it, but if you don't, you can just get these gorgeous crystals, this new size crystal themselves. Right, so I just went back. The 3 colors we have is the purple, the neutral, which is the black diamond. I refer to it as a black diamond because of the seed beads, navy and teal. And I'm just going to turn you, the offer is on until the end of the weekend, Simon said. So do have a look at it. I'm just going to quickly show you a close-up of the 3 different color, because we made little swatches. Put it on the top of my hand. I love the teal. I'm going to have to finish that teal. And I love the navy as well. So these are very much my colors. I think probably that Sarah would go for that color definitely, or the navy. She likes navy as well. But these 3 are definitely very, very much my colors, and I just love. So when you do something where you're adding more than 1 colors of crystal in the bracelet, it just makes it look like a little bit more special, a little bit more professional. And then you can have just simple stripes, or you can do sort of blend your colors in different ways as well. And really it's up to you. So you could even, you know, spell things out on there or do sort of different things with it. So I hope, yeah, Kitty, is this going to be used before? No. So this is, I'm a sneaky peek you what's going on this one. So this is the necklace, and I'm just going to show you sort of a little part of it. This is the necklace, what's going on USB 4 with gem dual beads. On the wrong side, this side you need to see. And when I was designing this necklace, I obviously had to do a base row to add the gem duos on there, which was exactly the same technique what you just seen right now. And when I was making this base row up, I just thought they are so nice. The crystals sit so naturally, they sit such a nice way that this would make a really pretty pattern. And I did make a little bracelet here, but it turned out a little bit smaller, so I'm going to have to make a bigger one because I really love this color. But you can have it as one row, or you can have it as multi-row, and it would look really great. It's just something like, it's so symmetric, it just sits together, that I really, Lucy's saying roll on 4th of November. Yes, Lucy, me too, because after that I'm going to have a few days off to myself. At the moment, it's sort of pretty much, work is pretty much full on. So after the 4th of November, hopefully we can have a few days off. I like the pattern on the lighter color. How did you add those beads? Like this one, you mean, Betty? So that's exactly the same what we did here with the teal one, that we came with one row and then we added the second row and the third row. But when I was doing the first row, instead of doing just one color, I picked up one light, one medium, one dark, one light, one medium, one dark, one light, one medium, one dark, all the way along. And when I turned around on the second row, I did exactly the same, but I staggered it. So I started with a medium color and dark light, and coming all the way back. And on the third row again, I staggered it again. So, but you're picking them up in the same motion. Question do. Sandy, I need a bit more than just saying question do, because that's are they Tahoe seed beads? Yes, they are Tahoe seed beads. Whenever I'm doing anything stitchy or anything where you have to do you really really need something more of a even seed beads. So there's different seed beads available out there, and Toho seed beads are made in Japan. They're really regular, so anything when you're doing bead stitching like this, you need very regular seed beads, so not one of them is bigger and the next one is smaller, because your pattern is not gonna look nice and even and neat with some of the cheaper craft seed beads. Now, just because they're cheaper craft seed beads and they're uneven, that doesn't mean they're anything less good, because they are projects where you need that need it, so they are uneven. Like when you do plaiting or when you do coralling and you want to achieve a natural look, you really do need cheaper quality seed beads where they are all sort of different sizes. So this one, like, they pretty much 3mm, the size 8, and the size 11, they say they're 2.2mm. So pretty much each bead is the same size. And with the craft seed beads on the size 8, you could have anything from 2.5 to 3.5mm in size, and that's why do you get the thread? No, you can no, the thread I used is Supilon size D. So because I've been doing so many kits and so many bundles and so many different things, most of you have got thread at home. So we are trying to keep the price of the bundles down by, so if you need, you can add the thread to it, or if you need, you can add the clasp to it. It's really up to you, so you can get whatever whatever you get. Lotus saying, Sandy Vincent, the thread bundles are really good value. Yes, do check them out as well. You get 12 colors. Let me just show you, because I love, and Sarah, actually, she's got one as well now, because she was like, oh, I need one of those, what you have, one of those thread bundles. So this one is the one I use the most, and with this one, zoom out a little bit so you can see it. So with this one, with the Supilon, there's 3 different color options available on the website. So we have got our sort of neutral colors, your blacks and browns. Just move those out of the way, which would be from here to here. So you get 12 bobbins. I I think it's 12 bobbins for the price of 10. They're gonna go forever. They're really gonna go forever. And with this, the neutral ones, you get the sort of browns, chocolate brown, brown, because Superlon comes in 36 different colors, and it's so important to match the right color of thread to the right color of seed beads. So if I was like, let's take in this instant, we got these turquoise beads. So if I use the blue thread with it, it would really show up. Or even if I use like a lighter color, you really, when you use the right color thread, the thread will just disappear and you won't see it in there. So that's bundle one. And then we have our pinks, purples, and like yellow and beige color in the second mix. This one again is really great. I use quite a lot of the purples and pinks, but I use quite a lot of these burgundy colors as well, because if you have got, you're making a brand necklace but it has got a little bit of a warmer tone to it, I tend to use not a brand thread but one of these burgundy ones. And then we have got our greens, and I think the grey goes in there. Yes, the grey goes in there as well. The greens and the blues. So again, you got a darker blue, lighter blue, like a sky blue. I love this sort of turquoisey color, steely color. You got a sea foam, and then you got like 4 different shades of the green as well. And depending on what you use, you can get away with using different color threads, but there, everything is there. You can blend the colors in there. Lucy's saying I have thread bundle and I made mine look like you done yours. So this, what I did with this thread, the threads, this is just a necklace. If I find the end, I'm not gonna unscrew it. There we go. So this is just a tiger tail necklace. I put it on so I can have all the colors together. There are stuffs like, I know, bobbin savers and sort of things when there is a ring, and I actually have got one somewhere where you can pop the bobbins in, but these, all those tools are cost like £5, £6, £7 each. And with this one, this necklace, we do actually sell this necklace, it's £1 the necklace, and it keeps my thread in the colorways how I like to see them, in my rainbow colorways. But more importantly, what you can do, so when you use it, you can just reel one thread off and use that one, so you don't I'm just gonna cut this up because otherwise it's gonna annoy me, but you always, you know, everything is usable wherever, whatever side they are on, and it just sits in my little thread box. So yeah, so that's about the threads. Right, let me come back to myself, and I'm just gonna turn this light. That's it from our table. So that's it for me today. Oh, I just dropped my bracelet. That's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can I would have inspired you to have a go at all these things, because I love modified right angle weave. It's one of my favorite stitches, and I keep coming back to it. So when I first learned, or first stitch I ever learned, I think it was peyote stitch, and right angle weave was the second, and I loved peyote stitch so much. When it came to right angle weave, I was like, I'm not sure about this, I don't really like this, I like peyote stitch, I really want to do peyote stitch. But over the years, I go back to right angle weaving. Or, so, you know, there is modified right angle weave, there is prismatic right angle weave, there's so many different right angle weaves you can do, but it's still the same technique, like cubic right angle weave, when you like go around in, and it's all, it goes back, I go back to it more and more and more, and I use it, like I use it the most. This is the stitch where I use the most. So do have a go at it, do take advantage of the bundles. By there we got 35% off of them, a third off on the bundles, so do take advantage of that one as well, because when next USB making, so Joe, the next USB is coming out on the 4th of November on Creek and Craft, and yes, I've got a couple of weeks, yeah, two weeks yesterday, couple of weeks to finish everything off, to polish all the pictures up, and Molly and everybody's so busy to putting everything together at the net. So this is the last phase of it. We are really Do the threads last for a long time? So each thread has got about 70 meters on there, which is a long. I got threads there which I had for 5-6 years, because if it's not a particular color what I use a lot, the red definitely, because I got a couple separate as well. I had this for quite some time because I don't use it that much. But even like the teal or aqua or the purple, what I use pretty much every week, a bobbin does last me quite a few months, and I do bead a lot, and I do bead every day. So the threads do last a long time. So do have a go at the stitch and pop a picture up in the handmade group, because I love to see what you make with it and how you blend your colors. Take advantage of the discount, because that's going back up to full price at the weekend. I'm not sure when the girls, that this size crystals are not available to buy separately. They're only available in the bundle at the moment, because the girls just haven't got time to photograph everything and put everything up on the website. But it will be available soon, hopefully, when they get around it. But do take advantage of that. So do have a lovely day, everybody. Sarah's going to be with you tomorrow, and I will be with you next time on Monday. Yes, Monday, on Kitty Robinson Designs on Sunday night, to do my little chat. This little informal chat, just sort of what are you up to this week. Do let me know, so do pop in. That will be at 7 p.m. Other than that, I will see you on Monday morning here. And it's Sarah tomorrow, and I think she's making a beaded chain tomorrow, as I remember. I did check the diary, but you know, my head, it's like a sieve. Things like just sort of come and go. This is what I say, like, you know, God gave us 2 years. So one side is going in, another side is going out, and I think with my brain as well, like nothing stays in there. But never mind. Oh, Jenny's saying, oh, my latest totally parcel have just arrived. Woohoo! So I guess you would be playing today then. Which color thread would you use for lighter colored bracelets? Well, it's entirely up to you what color thread you get, but the neutral colors, so you got your ash, that's ash and beige, I suppose. That's what's always ash and beige and gray. Those three I always have in my box, because that's sort of multi-usable with other colors as well. Right, Creation Station is moving to Monday night from November, and so do make sure in the description I added all the other links, our YouTube channels and everything else. So do subscribe, like, and follow the notifications as well. So it's not just enough to subscribe or like it, you do have to turn off on notifications, because if you turn on notifications, then you will get a message from Facebook or YouTube telling you that we are live or we're going live, so you don't miss anything what we do. But next Thursday I'll be back, and we will try with this bundle. So if you get your bundle now, next Thursday we can do it together. We will be looking at a tuberal netting, or we could even look at the Dutch spiral, or look at the spiral staircase, or look at any of the spiral stitches, because I just love these beads. And I might even put another couple of colors together, because in the warehouse there were at, like, I don't know, 50-60 different colors. So I might do an aqua, maybe, because I love aqua as well. But never mind, we see next week. So I'll see you, we will see you with Creation Station back next week. See you on Monday at Total Beads, or Sunday on mine. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. I hope you have you know, you have a nice weather where you are. If not, then it's gonna be a beading all weekend, or crafting. Pop pictures up, we'd love to see what you're doing. Take care, everybody. Stay